category of the soul, those that desired neither the world nor the paradise, and gazed at God's face only, sought God in this world, and sacrificed all in search for God. Many kings also abandoned their kingdoms, made the jungle their abode, and put up with hunger and thirst. Some of the aspirants spent many years sitting in the rivers. After successful spiritual discipline, they became known as God's friends. God deputized them on different saintly posts and divine assignments, and they became a divine remedy and a means of hope for the hell-bound souls. Just as the famous poet Iqbal mentions in one of his poems, a glance of a godly man changes the fate. One must have physically seen the spiritual guide upon each birth of the terrestrial spirits, a relation with the guru of the previous birth, or a relation with the ancestral guru, becomes nullified with the present body, just as the prophethood becomes invalid after the arrival of the grand messenger. Just as Moses, Musa Kalimullah, was one of the grand messengers, and all the prophets that came after Moses, their religions were abrogated on arrival of Jesus, Spirit of God, Isa Ruhallah, and the prophets that came outside Arabia. In the duration between the time of Jesus, Spirit of God, and Muhammad, all of them were abrogated on the arrival of Muhammad. The religions founded by the grand messengers have been valid until date. These grand messengers are Adam Safi Allah, Ibrahim Khalil Allah, Abraham, Musa Kalim Allah, Moses, Isa Ruh Allah, Jesus, and Muhammad Rasul Allah, Muhammad. And every saint follows in the spiritual footsteps of the grand prophets, meaning receives the divine grace from their respective subtlety of the breast, because all 5 subtleties of the human breast are related to the 5 grand messengers. On account of this, spiritual benevolence and prophethood thereof remains valid until the day of judgment. There is a general belief that one must recite the declaration of faith in order to enter the paradise. Please be warned that it does not refer to the declaration of faith belonging to a single prophet in particular, and it alludes to the declaration of faith and religions belonging to all grand messengers. Remember well, Muhammad said, "I have come to reform in what has been altered, and not to deny any religion or celestial book of any grand messenger." The spiritual doctrine and religion of Adam Safi Allah continues even today. Those that possess dhikr qalb, that weep and observe humility in God's name, that repent over their sins, and who seek to avoid sins, fall under the category of the first religion. And this was the primary prophethood and the primary form of worship. Every Hus, leader of a chain of saints, and every saint is on the footsteps, the particular spiritual path of a particular prophet. For example, the category mentioned above is on the footsteps of Adam Safi Allah. Mujaddid Alif Thani said, "I am on the footsteps of Moses." The chain of Kalandars emerges from Jesus Christ. Abdul Qadir Jilani comes from Mashrab-e Muhammad, the spiritual path of Muhammad.